Good morning, everybody. So it's just before 7, Tuesday, last week of February. What is it, the 18th or 19th, something like that. I don't even know. Didn't quite get out of the house for 6 o'clock. I had a very cute sleeping toddler that has just been an amazing sleep mallet the last week or so for me. We've been sit down, watch YouTube Norley or YouTube Gold, and next thing I know, we're both asleep, and we're stirring at about 6:30. He's like, "Oh, okay, well, time to go for a ride." He fell back asleep, thankfully. That way his mom can get some more sleep, and I can go for a ride. I didn't get a ride in yesterday. Unless I really get out of the house early, the boys just want all of my attention, which is an absolutely lovely thing to have happen. So we practiced some painting, we're learning airbrushing, all four of us, Donica, the boys, and I. So Sage painted me a pterodactyl that was doing a flying spinny dive. And he painted me a triceratops. Now, keep in mind, these are 4-year-old paintings and they look nothing like what he says they look like. But I love them all the same. And so then I got my first practice in doing some clear. So clear those. So these are our stainless steel, like 12-ounce cups that we're painting. We break stuff, so I have metal cups. You can dent them, but it takes a whole lot to break them. So we're practicing those with a little airbrush, and just ordered some more because we finished all the ones we had, except for the one I was still using because I need a cup to drink stuff in. Because the goal is to be able to paint the motorbike. It's black on black on black on black, and I love the blacked out engine because I don't want to deal with chrome, but the rest of it being black, yeah, not so much my jam. I love the whole murdered out look as much as the next guy, and at least it's flat black and not super shiny, but the whole super emotional purchase of this motorcycle is that this is the bike that my surrogate father raced in the 60s and 70s up in New York. He had a 64 Harley Sportster and then had a ton of experimental stuff on it from Harley at the time. And his bike was that very traditional copper with flake, and it had some pearl in it, and it had 8 or 9 coats. It literally looked like you could put your arm into the gas tank. It's just depth there was absolutely amazing. And what I'm gonna do is paint this bike a base coat color. So I think I'm gonna go with a marbled emerald green because I love greens, hence the tank bag, right? And then I'm gonna do the ovals on the side of the tank and some other detail work in that copper that kind of matches Bert's tank because, well, I want to, and I think he'd love it. I mean, I know the fact that I have a Harley now and ride around with him in spirit he loves. We never got to go for a ride, even if it was him on his Harley and me on a Honda, just because his health deteriorated so quickly, and for a long time. But more's the pity. We talked about it a lot. We talked about building bikes and cars and painting. He used to build kit cars up in New York as well, GT40s and Shelby Cobras and Ferraris, all kinds of different stuff. And so you talked about him doing the paint job on his Harley. I was just like, wow, that just absolutely sounds amazing. So I've started the process of learning to paint a couple different times. just ran out of time, or especially when I was younger, ran out of money. And then when you can't do something and you just look at it, just lost interest. So, well, with how many vehicles I currently want to paint, I'm not paying a professional painter for all of that, because that's way too much. So we're learning ourselves. So we're starting with an airbrush gun, a little pen job, super small, which is great for the 4-year-old and the 11-year-old because you can't overpaint easily. You can't get drips and runs because it shoots out such little amount of paint that they're having a good time with it, and it's still, even if like the actual detail in the painting isn't on par, the coverage is good and there's no drips, except for one cup with the clear. That was a learning experience. But hey, that's what the whole point of painting cups is. It's a learning experience. So we're doing that. That was a great day yesterday. We painted some clear. We played some video games. We went for a walk. We played RCs. And then Gabriel, the 11-year-old, he broke out his RC that he got for his birthday, which I got him the kit. You can buy a Traxxas Slash completely unassembled and put it together. So we built another half of that. So maybe tonight we can finish it, and then he can play RC with his brother tomorrow with his own truck. Because he had been using one of mine. Well, all of mine are currently broken, as happens with hobby grade RC cars. So I've got the parts to fix at least one. I don't know if I have the parts to fix the second one, but I'll dig through the parts bin and see. There I go, reaching for 6th again. Damn 5 speeds. And so yeah, it was a great day, even though I didn't get a ride in. Donica didn't get a ride in, but it was a good time. Got a bunch of stuff done. I mean, nothing that I had to get done, just stuff I wanted to get done. And it's just amazing how long you can play Hungry Hippo and keep a 4-year-old entertained. Such a simple game, and hours of enjoyment. Hungry Hippo. And then, you know, the hippos eat that food. Well then, now you can feed that food to all the dinosaurs and the birds and all the other toys he has. Oh, I'm feeding these guys the hippo food. If the hippos can eat it, dinosaurs can eat it, right? Yeah, sure. Absolutely hilarious. Oh, yeah, I know. I need gas. That's why I'm not in the HOV. I was going to go to our local Kroger, but because it's rush hour, that right-hand turn lane is backed up the entire city block, if not farther. And I'm just not that patient. So I figured I'd just blat out a little bit, and I'll find a gas station out here. You know, it just started flashing. The Garmin gave me the warning, but I still got, you know, I'm at 108 miles, so my light's not on yet, which is always the last thing to come on, thankfully, so that way I know way beforehand. Just how I have the thing set up, that way I can look for gas. Oh, there it goes. So now I've got whatever it is, 0.2 of a tank, 0.2 of a gallon, I think it is, 0.2, 50 miles to the gallon, a quarter of that, 12-ish miles, I think is what we did the math on it last time. Of course, that could be wrong. My wife is the mathematician, not me. Don't hold me to that. Oh, of course. Turn lane only. Here we go. And I'm not overly worried about it because I filled up my 3-liter long haul yesterday, not yesterday, Sunday when I was on a ride. Just got that, maybe that'll come in handy, and did it. So if I do start sputtering, I can just pull over and fill it up, but not that that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, yes sir. And see, there's an Exxon over there, but gas buddy doesn't work with Exxon. No deals. Conoco 0.3, Circle K 0.7. Man, I love this thing. Okay. Yeah. So good day with the boys. Good day painting. We now have some very pretty cups. Learned a lot with them, which is even the more important thing. And it was a good time, so hey, nothing wrong with any of that. I know I shot some footage of us painting. I will get all the cups together in the sun and get some footage of that as well. They are pretty. I found the color turquoise my lovely wife loves, so she had a very old Chevy pickup truck in the time frame of her first marriage, and her husband lost it for her, and so she's always loved that the turquoise that was on the old Chevy Apaches. She loves that turquoise, and so I finally was able to find that exact shade for her. The local paint shop had an automotive book from 1957. I don't know if they've been in business that long or what, but they had it. They were able to look it up, so we got it. It's a very random name, turquoise. I'll say it in another video when I'm painting with it. But so she's super stoked about that because I had painted her truck with a rattle can years ago, and I got the closest thing that I could find to it. Let's see if this light's gonna recognize me. Come on, scoot up for me, guy. So just really playing with colors. Haha. I love the motorcycle. I love the motorcycle.